Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer and I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote into chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. Let me know you're here. Would love to see you. We're in the intro portion of the stream. We're hanging out. Aristophan is here. Welcome, Aristophan. And of course, we're going to get into model kit building and chatting as always. But I do like to give an opportunity for folks that come in reasonably, to get fashionably late for the stream. And to get ready for it. And I hope that everybody is doing okay out there. I'm going to see who we got going on here. Yeah, if you want to throw in your name and say hi, you're more than welcome to do that. If you're not a chatter, that's okay. We got Lastbrook and Lord Crashing in here. Hell yeah, welcome, welcome. I have noticed, I'm going to call it out now because I don't want to get up and I don't want to do it. You may see right over here, like right over there, I have a t-shirt hanging up. And I didn't take it off the door handle there of my closet. And I'm just going to leave it because I don't care, but I am seeing it, and so I have to acknowledge it because that's how my brain works, is I need to at least acknowledge it. Not that, I don't even know if you'd ever see it or say anything or like whatever, but it is like a black object against the white of the closet. Shocked that you wear shirts, Pat. Indeed. So here's a secret. It's not a secret. I wear giant, like for me, because they're double XL, black shirts when I am doing anything outside in this heat. Now you're saying, well, Pat, you want to wear white. You don't want to wear black. And I say, no, 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 no. I'm going to sweat no matter what. I'm going to sweat in a white t-shirt. I'm going to sweat in a black t-shirt. The Vinny-Techie, yes. But the black t-shirt is going to absorb the sweat, and you can't see that I'm sweating through the t-shirt unless you get real close. So for the distance, no sweat noticed. In a white shirt, you're going to see all that sweat. You're going to see, oh, the person is just sweating right through that shirt. Just scoot your chair to the right. Yeah, well, if I do, yeah, I could do. No, that's not going to be too. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. No, that's going to make it worse. There we go. That's weird. That's weird. And then I'm going to have to, see, the problem is I'm going to have to redo all this later. Oh yeah, then you saw the webcam there. I don't care. We're doing it. We're not going to worry about it. Everything is fine. You're just seeing that shirt in there. Otherwise, you're going to see pillows, and then everything's going to weird. Off center, Pat. Yeah, I'm not going to be off center. That's nonsense. We'll do this. Yeah. All right, now I'm adjusted. I'm fine. There's a shirt over there. I don't care about it, even though I talked about it now for several minutes. It's something to talk about before we get into the model kit building and hanging out. And again, allowing people to be fashionably late for the stream, hoping a few people make that choice. It's okay if they don't. Counter programming to this, please don't go and watch it. From 8:45 to 9:45 p.m. Eastern time, you can watch a cool thing that's happening called the Fire Escape X Nextlander PAX Takeover Extraordinaire. It's on right now. Please don't leave and go watch that. Somebody did. But yeah, that's going to be archived on the PAX YouTube channel and also the Twitch archive, and also you know, probably another way. So you could just watch that later. That wouldn't involve you not being here right now. Be right back, JK. Yeah, thank Lord Crashing. But also, if you want to go watch that, you can. It's totally cool. I'm going to be model kit building and hanging out with all of you, and we'll talk about some of the things. There was another panel that was running 8 to 9 p.m. I watched about 15 minutes of it, and I want to go watch more of it, so I'm going to check that out later, and we'll talk about that panel. We'll talk about a couple panels coming up tomorrow and Saturday you should check out. I believe most of the ones I'm going to recommend are happening tomorrow. But there's a couple panels that look cool. Of course, tonight we'll talk about the Stream Deck. And we'll also talk about fan subs and how, look, it wasn't all just terrible. There was some cool stuff that happened with fan subs, like creative use of font in order to have moves like seem cool. That was adopted in some cases. Some shonen have adopted that fan sub style of really showing off the name and having like a special font for cool moves. It wasn't all just when did Frieza was Frieza always this diesel and other and we're not translating Nakama because it's way more. It's very important, and we shouldn't be translated. Or in this our fan subgroup has Krillin say fuck or whatever. All of the nonsense of fan subs. Um, the uh, the Spanish language subtitles for one show. I can't remember which one, but somebody shared a link with me, and a character in that show was speaking Italian, and they were like, "Hey, we don't speak Italian," so they didn't translate the Italian words, but they could have translated the Japanese subtitle like translation of that, and they just didn't. They just went, "Hey, we don't speak Italian," and this is like, what? So we'll talk about a bunch of things tonight. We got some topics to discuss. Also working on the Barbatos. Um, and just the general unprofessionalness of what I'm up to tonight. Uh, I'm gonna go retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more bodies in there. Um, let's see. Oh, oh boy. Well, we'll see how that goes. Uh, uh, Jerry from Penny Arcade retweeted a tweet of mine because Kiko had also retweeted it. The tweet for posterity is sending encouraging energy to my friends trying to do live panels at PAX Online East and all the staff working behind the scenes. To which Ryan Hartman, who basically for Reed runs PAX, is like, I'm inviting Curse and Tempting Fate, but so far it really only been one. The Jackbox Party PAX panel had some technical issues. Not all of the PAX panels are live. In fact, very few are live, but there are a few scattered out. Whereas last year for PAX Online, none of them, very few, if any, were live. Almost all of them in the 7 days were pre-recorded, much like mine is pre-recorded. But the Jackbox one suffered some stuff. So I forgot that Penny Arcade employee Kiko follows me, which is cool. Kiko's great. He's the design director over at Penny Arcade, and he retweeted. So that got a retweet from Jerry, who there's no reason for Jerry to remember me, but we have met on a couple occasions and has been nothing but nice. Um, in my time meeting him, they're very hospitable. So uh, yeah, I was just like, oh, well, that could be weird. And also for posterity's sake, I should say that who wouldn't see my retweet? That'd be Mike, because he has me blocked. Mike from Penny Arcade blocked me a few years ago. The story is, years and years before he blocked me, I tweeted at him, "Hey, maybe you should have other people run your social media, and you should take a break," which is good advice. He was tweeting some, yes, he was tweeting some like real weird. Hey Jam, welcome, happy to have you here. He was tweeting. Let's go to the overhead while I said this bit. He was tweeting some like real, even for the time. This is years ago, a few years ago. He was tweeting some real boneheaded, short-sighted, um, just like from a bad place opinions on like uh trans folks that was like real weird and kind of out of left field, including the fact that there was a trans person that worked with him and worked for him, um, who was like trying to educate him publicly, and he was not interested in being educated. Um, I can't tell you what his stance is now. I can't tell you what his opinions are now. The people in his life and the people not in his life. It shouldn't take you to know someone to have a change of heart when you're clearly in the wrong. But I did tweet at him, and then nothing happened. And then years later, someone liked that tweet, which was they were looking for tweets and liked it, which was enough for him to block me because then he saw the like come out of nowhere, I guess. Um, also, I assume he doesn't know that a person that he blocked was somebody that runs successful panels at his conventions, which also makes me very happy. uh, that's just a little like, yeah. I mean, I do these panels and people seem to like them, so oh well, dude. Uh, living well is the best revenge. Not It's not revenge, but it's just funny to me that uh, it was just like, yeah, I'm going to give this guy giving me out of nowhere. To be fair, out of nowhere feedback, but also pretty accurate feedback that at the time he should have just said nothing because he was being an ignoramus. Um, anyway, on the topic of subtitles and dubs and all those things. Okay. Um, Westbrook says, so watching these Anime Labs DBZ eps made me kind of want to rewatch DBZ with that real SD VHS quality, but it turns out the streaming version on Funimation is some sort of 16:9 cropped 1080p garbage. Yeah, so um, there's a lot of forced 16:9 you will find in some things that were packaged to if you're getting the quote unquote DVD release, you're getting that, and sometimes it's forced and doesn't look good. But also, here's the thing. So Lashbrook kind of clued me into this, and I've been engaging with this stuff. Archive.org. There are some people out there. It's very few people, but a few people. They're going buck wild on uploading their VHS anime fan sub collections. Ooh, hey, thank you for hosting, Zeno. Appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, and thank you for the host. So yeah, so people are uploading their collections, their VHS quality collections. And here's the thing that I've noticed. I am nostalgic for late '90s, early 2000s Japanese commercials, especially like the Tony the Tiger commercials, the stuff that would air, of course, during Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and other like shows where they were definitely looking for lots of people to watch it, but also kids. Um, Certainly. I'm nostalgic for that. I'm not nostalgic for bad VHS quality fan subs. I'm just not. Third generation, second, fourth generation copies, copies of copies, copies done on tapes that had already been used for other fan subs. I'm just not. Here's the thing. Even if I only watch stuff at 720 because I want to get the stream, I got spoiled by good streaming service stuff. I just got spoiled by it. I got spoiled by good quality. There should be a tsunami mode on Funimation's deep shows where it randomly decides to reset you back to the start of the show or the arc. Yeah, yeah. You finish an arc and then you get like 2 episodes in the next arc, and then you go back to a random spot in another arc, and you're just like, oh no, oh no, these are the episodes with Krillin hanging out with Master Roshi. Oh no, we're watching these again. Oh boy, yikes! These episodes, huh? Okay, that would be kind of funny if they did that. Um, but yeah, well, so my big thing is, first off, if you're gonna try to help me, I appreciate this, but don't worry about it because it is just a small little thing. But there is a thing that I would like to find. And I would like to find the name of the fan subgroup in the late 90s, early 2000s, early 2000s probably. Well, it may have been late 90s by the time I just got them late. I don't know the name of the group, but they did a thing where sometimes people would put their own credits over the Japanese credits, and I always thought that was just rude. But these folks, at the end of each tape, not at each episode, at the end of each tape, they would put their credits. And it would be to the tune of the music that played over their own personal credits would be Princes of the Universe by Queen, which is a very fun choice that I thought I really liked. Again, I don't know who did this. Now, my memory tells me that they worked on Shadow Skill, the TV show, not the OVAs, which were licensed in the US, the TV show, which never was. Now, archive.org has the Shadow Skill movie, but it doesn't have any of the TV episodes because there was an OVA and a movie and the OVA did not every OVA got licensed. So here's the thing. That's just the time period. Like I have a vivid memory of this, but it may be several memories combined together. So it may be that this group didn't do Shadow Scale. I was just also getting Shadow Scale tapes at the time. Um, but it was the first time I had ever heard Princes of the Universe, so I know that that is true. And so I'm endeavoring to find this. Uh, here's a fun thing. Finding information about old fan subgroups is very difficult. Duh, of course it is, but it is very difficult to try to track stuff down. Um, and I do have a few VHS tapes left from my days, but I got rid of most of them because a lot of that stuff you could get. There's a chance they did Oni, which somebody put one episode of Oni up. Oni, ONI, which is all capital letters, not to be confused with the video game Oni. This is ONI, meaning demon, and it was a show about people who found out that they were like half demons or they had demon blood in them, which allowed them to like transform and have cool abilities. Uh, yeah, I tried doing a Google search thinking someone had started a wiki. I mean, look, there are people that are like cataloging, but they're doing like Centrosaurus. They're doing like the big names. The person, the group that had a problem with Miami Mike. Uh, they're gonna go for the big ones doing the big shows. Um, what we really need is someone to get their collection who is digitizing to also start cataloging their collection in by the names of the groups doing it. And I think that's going to be very hard. I think you're not going to get something till you get to the era of uh, um, using IRC, and then of course the era of using torrents, and then you might start to be able to find the names of people who were doing that work, um, that were running those groups. The names of the groups, not the names of the people. That's going to be even harder to do because people, you know, don't want to. Some people don't want to admit that. Some people certainly want to admit the manga stuff, but because they're trying to get work, so they say, "Yeah, I did some fan subbing back in the day," or I did some scanlation back in the day." But it's not something you're going to see a lot of people being like, "Yes, I used to work on this group." And there's a lot of infighting, and yeah, they came and went, so it's going to be a little tough to find that stuff. But like I said, one day I will watch this and I will then know the name of the group, and that is the thing I am looking for. So of course I did scour archive.org. Archive.org, lots of stuff over there on the old internet way back. You can find a lot of nonsense. You can find a couple of my panels, which is weird, because there is a group to start categorizing and cataloging, I should say. Harold's hosting the stream. Thank you, Harold. Welcome, my friend. There is an attempt to start cataloging the stream or the like panels that were on Twitch. So a couple of my panels have ended up there in the con collection, which is weird because they are on YouTube. Of course, there's one panel in there that I took off YouTube myself. Another one that YouTube decided it shouldn't be on there. So that's kind of weird. But yeah, can't stay. I have to go let my parents' dogs out. Oh, like shortly. Well, Harold, I guess we finally answered the question. Harold let the dogs out. That was who? Who? It was Harold. So go let the dogs out, and we'll see you soon. And also, I am not sorry for that joke. If you could call that a joke, I am not sorry for it. All right, let's finish these feet. We're almost done with the feet here, and then we'll move on to the right leg. That's right. Um, so yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. The fan subs dubs thing is an interesting kind of debate because so here's the thing. I had a popular tweet. Was it using a screen cap that Lashbrook took? Yes, it was. Did I think that it would become a popular tweet? No, I did not. Was it interesting to hear people's opinions that were one, deciding what my actual opinion was, and two, making sure that I know what their opinion is. At first it was interesting, and then it became less interesting because people have agendas. Um, and a lot of people's agendas are so the tweet was uh them, or like, I can't believe CR Crunchyroll use sus and hey words maybe in an official fans or sub. That's why I stick with fan subs. And then going me and old. Yes, fan subs always got it right. And then the photo is Yamcha saying, "Was Frieza always this diesel?" Which even at the time was probably an unnecessary flavor for it. Um, Basically, this was from the, in the larger context. Let me just be very clear that just because you know the word, you being people, not you listening right now, just because you don't know that sus instead of suspect was used for many years, and you only know it because it's been used in streamers you watch who are playing Among Us, does not mean that it's like a new term. Uh, it's not like sus existed before the pandemic. Yes. So, um, also, like many things, uh, uh, people, and specifically white people, like to use terms created by other communities, most often the black community, and to use it, overuse it, and then complain that too many people use that word. If you ever see someone say, "Oh, I can't wait for people to stop saying this word," they are a boring white person. The weird bit is Yamcha wasn't even looking at Frieza, just reacting to the power level. That is a weird thing. So his power level was diesel. It wasn't that he was looking diesel. It was that his power level was diesel. Also, did Yamcha ever see Frieza? I guess he heard the terms of it. He didn't go to Namek. So I guess he just I don't know. It's weird. Lots of stuff about that is weird. But it was basically there was this minor uproar about folks Crunchyroll using sus. Uh, Specifically, I'll say this: characters who were in high school using sus. Yeah, I feel like they're going to use that. Like modern high school girls. Yeah, they're probably going to use sus. And also, even if they don't, even if in 10 years it feels very archaic, it does set it in a place and time, and I don't mind that. Uh, Briefly before Trunks killed him. Okay, yeah, I don't know. You think? But anyway, uh, that was like a thing where when that was happening, I was like, oh come on, y'all, like let them use that. That's fine. Uh, I don't know if that is a good or terrible translation, but whatever. Um, Now we did talk about how most of the time, like you got your profanities, you got your swears, you got your of course, the famous thing of um, this weird belief that exists in people about One Piece that like the importance of Nakama family. Also in Naruto, to another extent, the fan sub communities made choices that people like took in and believed. An example that I'm not sure about, so don't quote me on this. I do not believe that the manga for My Hero Academia ever says quirk. It the current theory out there, which is somewhat associated, which is why I'm calling it a theory, is that um, the scanlation community like came up with the term quirk, and then that became popularized and is heavily used. Now, again, please take that with a grain of salt. I'm not. I am, quoting conversation about that. I cannot tell you for certain that that is 100% accurate and is exactly what went down with that. But that is what it appears to be. That uh, okay, I've got to get this leg done right here. Um, that appears to be where that came from, which is interesting. I think that's certainly interesting. Um, uh, so sometimes like they got it right. We were talking about how like the names of moves in shonen series, like with special fonts and special like displaying of the text. That was interesting. That was a cool thing. That was like, um, fan subbers remember that, and that again in One Piece that has become a thing that is in the official subs, is the like gumma gumma no, like coming in a different style, like that is kind of taken from the fan subbers, to kind of include that, um which is cool, which is like a fun like thing, and inspiration. Like I've always thought that was neat. um but when people are like, oh, I prefer, okay, this is probably not P16. Probably not A16. This is probably, uh yes, I grabbed the wrong piece. Gonna put that over here. Um this is A16. I fucked up. Y'all, that happens. Luckily I noticed it was weird. What was I saying? Yeah, so like I don't need to know people like random strangers feelings on how they're like, oh well, I liked that joke that ProZD did, but then he turned out to work for Crunchyroll, so it feels like it didn't age well. I'm like, the fact that he did like a comedy bits for Crunchyroll, also that wasn't the joke of it, was that fan sub of Naruto would add swears and also like aura instead of I, like weird non-translations of moments, and then also the Nakama thing was in there as well. Of just like, yeah, no, that's just a word. It's in a bunch of shows. It just means friends. Don't worry about it. You decided that is somehow important, and why you made that term important, we don't know, but you did. You decided it had way more meaning than it did. You could have just said friends and it would have been fine, but you didn't, and it's weird. Like all of the weirdness of fan groups. Now, am I saying that Crunchyroll and Funimation get it right all the time? Certainly not. A particular show that I watched, not, what, it was a year ago, 2 years ago. Uh, um, no, the Misfit at Demon King Academy. Finding about Nakama thing as a manga reader was wild. Yes, I'm sure it was. Um, no, Misfit at Demon King Academy. There is the character Lei or Ray, depending on which episode uh, of Misfit at Demon King Academy you watch. Either the character is named Lei or Ray, and they changed it after one episode. After they introduced the character with one name, they switched it over. Uh, now, Lashbrook, as you go through your old episodes, you might find creative spellings of Krillin's name, where the R's are L's, and various other strange changes you might find there, which is always weird. Uh, the never could decide, depending on the some fan subbers could never decide. I always bring up the literal translation fan subs where they translated uh, Yami Yugi as dark game. They were just saying it's so dark and game because that's what their names mean. But they would capitalize dark, so so Yami Yugi would be talking to us like, well, dark. We gotta help out Dark. It's like, no, no, that's not his name. Come on. Um, Somebody tweeted at me, which I thought was fun. Uh, Sometimes it's Keelan with a KY. Yeah, yeah, totally. Um, I remember finding it was weird that dialogue in the first volume of the Dragon Ball manga didn't match the show. Yeah, totally. I mean, that's kind of a thing, right? And sometimes that's manga and anime changes. But what was I gonna say? Oh, somebody tweeted at me that they remember a fan sub where a character said "yo," like "hey," like "yo," and they translated it as "sup," S-U-P, and it was like, well, that's unnecessary. Also, apparently out there are fan subs that seem to be in jest, where they would because obviously in jest, but like they weren't trying to like change the stuff, but they would Pikachu would say Pika Pika Pika, and they would translate it um, into some sort of English, and that's just like obviously they were joking around. Um, But that's just adding their own jokes. Like, I don't mind context, but I do mind adding jokes into a thing. Like, come on. Nobody needs your jokes. That's unnecessary. Context, and in some cases the context was never super necessary either, but yeah, I'm like, no, I think we're okay. We don't need that. You know what? Maybe we don't need that. Let's move our feet over here. Um, a lot of stuff. I mean, back in the day for fan sub things. Uh, let's see. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, okay. So we can talk a little bit. Oh, I want to check one thing real quick before we continue on this to see what's going on with this thing. Oh yeah, throwing that in there. Uh, oh, that's good. That's going well. So we could talk a bit about some of the panels I think you should check out at PAX Online, or it's PAX East Online, because of course PAX West is happening, which you shouldn't go to because it's a live PAX. You should watch the PAX East Online, which is happening now. Um, you should look in the archives of a thing that ended right before my stream started, which is called "Always Check the Toilets: A Ranking of Bathrooms in Games." I think I know like one person on this panel, but I'm really interested in checking it out because that is just sounds like a real weird, fun idea for a panel. So I'm very interested in that. So I would recommend that. Oh, Lord Gresham says I only accept changes like that in the Adult Swim Lupin the Third show, where they had shack jokes and such that I assume were to be more relatable to Westerners. I mean, look, the dub for Samurai Pizza Cats is its own show and is very good. And it was done with permission. They were like, "Hey, a lot of this is not going to work for our audience, so why don't you write your own scripts?" And and that's why there's two episodes that are subtitled but not dubbed because they were like, "We don't know what to do with these episodes, so we're not going to do them." Um, I think that's like totally okay if it's like you're changing it because you're like, we're gonna put jokes in here that like actually work for our audience, our perceived audience, that don't require a big explanation. I think that is fine. Um, okay, so of course, happening right now. Please don't go watch the end of it because it's almost over anyway. Because it's going over at 9:45. So don't go to it now. Happening now is Fire Escape X Nextlander, the PAX Takeover Extraordinaire. Just happening, and I'm sure is great. But you can watch that. I'm going to watch it later. You can watch it later. Um, Tomorrow is the Jackbox Writers Room, and I think that's going to be neat. That sounds very cool, so I would recommend going and checking that out. The Jackbox Writer Room. It's people from Jackbox talking about behind the scenes stuff, talking about their experiences, the other work they've done. It sounds neat, and so I think that'll be cool. I'm going to wait to panel line this until I got more of the armor on because there's stickers that we have to apply, including now. We're going to apply some stickers, so I'm going to wait on that. The Hidden Gems of PAX Online is happening tomorrow. Dylan does a great job. He's had me on a previous version of that panel, and I was happy to be on it. And joining him is Felix, friend of the stream, Felix. Felix Kramer is going to be on there. So that sounds like it's going to be neat. So I would recommend people checking that out. And of course, they're going to be on their YouTube eventually if you don't see it live, or you can scrub through, and eventually they will give like the donut chapter breaks in the archives. And then happening tomorrow afternoon, I believe, is the Loading Ready Run Q&A panel. And those were really fun. The ones they did last year, they did one for each region, basically. And that was kind of neat. That aired at different times. And I'm sure they'll do a good job with this one. I don't believe it's live. There was a problem with the Jackbox stream today, which was a live stream. They ran into some technical hurdles with that because this time they're trying to do some interweave some live shows amongst the pre-tapes, which is a good idea. I'm glad that I didn't because also should mention because I'll mention it later. I got my panel, which is happening tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Pep Bear's Anime Club yelling about the shows we love, featuring Ian Horner, Heather Derry, and myself. That is pre-recorded, and I'm happy because that means I don't have to worry about it being pre-recorded. It happened already, and all I have to do is watch it. I will be hosting that in this channel if you would like to chat along with friends. I will be keeping an eye on the official packs, which some people tweet in, but they say, hey, maybe don't. Uh, and also, I'll be looking at the Discord and answering questions in the not our Discord, not this Discord, but the PAX Discord. They have a Discord thing, and they have a channel for each one, and I'll get myself a cool looking uh, marking there with that, like for as a speaker or something, so people can see my responses, which is cute. So I'll be doing that. All right, so we got tiny stickers here. We got to apply. I got to apply this sticker. Could I just panel line this? Yes, but I am going to try to do the sticker because I think that's neat. Oh, oops. Oh no, it came off. I thought that was neat, and then real thin sticker here. Some of this Barbatos is not super color accurate to the anime, which is a shame, but it's still a good little kit. I'm been happy building it. So we'll apply that. And we will continue on. Putting that there. All right, and then we got one more sticker to apply. Is sticker 10. Is, oh, another, the tiny bar sticker. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I guess I would prefer that these weren't tiny stickers and instead were plastic, but, you know, it's a high grade. You get what you can. All right, so we got all that on there. And then we're going to put the back piece on, which also has some stickers, and then we will panel line the whole thing there as we continue to work on this leg. But yeah, so those are all the PAX panels that I think people should watch. It's just nice for me to know that I don't have to worry about running the panel live and keeping on time and all that. It is a shame because I did watch it uh, getting into the topical build streams by building the new Overwatch star Barbatos. Yeah, sure. Um, no, um, it is a shame because, you know, we recorded it last month, so I'm like, hey, at the time of this recording, there, you know, two of the shows we're talking about haven't finished up yet, which is a weird thing to say because now, you know, recorded in the end of June. Now those shows are over. They were both good. Um, but uh, but yeah, so it's a little weird to be like to kind of be talking about that because I was just like, yeah, here are the shows I really like this season. Hope they're still, you know, it's like hope they didn't drop the ball at the very end. I don't think either did. That myself and Heather were talking about. But yeah, it's weird to be like, oh no, not do it live. Also, I did that. You know, this panel I've done once in front of an audience, and I did it once at PAX Online last year. So it's very strange uh, to have done that. Now I've done it more on an online version than I have in person. It's just strange, and I want to do it in front of an audience again. But I'm not going to Seattle. I have no plans to do that. That sounds like a nightmare. I'm glad that I'm not going. Uh, you know, it just seems like a bad choice. Seems like they should not be doing it. It shouldn't be happening, but it is. But yeah, I'm not gonna go to that. Finding out that Take This isn't going, I was very surprised. I figured they were just gonna go and be annoyed by it, but they made the choice not to go. Just also for the best. Yeah, this color accurate using a sticker instead of this is kind of a shame, but what are you gonna do? Do our best with this. Do our best with what we're given. Oh, I think I'm... the big sticker, and also it's got weird folds in it, which is fun. Found out yesterday that there was a Linkin Park Gunpla at some point. Yes, Lord Crashington. Well, so there's a Linkin Park sound wave, and then there was a Linkin Park like mobile suit kind of thing as well. Yeah. Linkin Park has had some interesting collaborations. That sound wave does look kind of cool, but and I didn't get it. I didn't buy it. There we go. There's that sticker on. We got one more sticker to put on, and then we can panel line this leg because we are just about done with it. I guess we'll get the piece, the gold piece out. C4 out here. We can hit that with a little paint, a little marker before we even put it in. That'll look nice. It makes sense with at least one of their albums having a big mech on it. Yeah, I mean, big robot. Hey, here's the thing, folks. I don't know if you know this, but big robots are cool. So, I get wanting to have a big robot, big collaboration with your big robots. I get that because they are pretty cool. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about tonight? I guess let's talk a bit about the Steam Deck. So, look, I'm not going to buy this thing. If you haven't seen it, it is a handheld that looks, I would say, big robot, cool. Got it. Yes, indeed. Big robots are cool. This Steam Deck, some people are like, oh, it's like a Switch. To me, it does look more like the Wii U, which, does look like the Switch. And I don't know when I'm ever going to hold one of the things. I would like to at some point touch one of them because it's like Wii U tablet. Yeah, the way they positioned, because so as best I can describe it, it's like this, but instead of holding it like this, you're going to hold it up here because this is where your fingers go. This is where the thumbsticks are. These are where the buttons are going to be over here. And so you're holding it like this. So your hands rest here to hold the thing. So instead of doing it here or here, you're basically like clamping on the top of it. And I mean, there must have been a study on the ergonomics of that in which they went ahead, decided to go ahead with it. It's an interesting choice, and I don't know if it's a good one. Like I said, I haven't held one of the things. I'm told that it is heavy, and it's heavier than a Switch. But I don't have much more information than that. And I think it's a cool idea. I don't know. I know the base model doesn't have a lot of storage in it, so you probably gamers on the go will probably want to upgrade it. But if you're buying it because you're like, I don't know, this looks neat, I think you'd be okay with the baseline one. I don't know, it seems neat. There are plenty of people that are like, many dollars need to get one. Yes, there are people that are just like, I don't know why anyone would want this, and I'm like, because they don't want to sit in front of their computer. They want to like sit on their couch, but they want to play cool games. And because they play the Switch, and some people are like, I love this thing, and other people are like, I hate how low powered it is. So I don't know. There are plenty of people that also just buy garbage. So they might as well buy this too. Look, Jeff Gerstmann isn't the only person that bought that terrible Atari thing. Or a lot of other people bought that. Not a whole lot, but people bought that thing. People gave them money to make that thing in the first place. So, like, people are always going to buy weird things that might not be a good investment. I don't know. I'm not going to get one, but I do think it's like, I don't have a problem with people like being excited about it. I think it's kind of neat. So it's like, yeah, sure. Have fun with it. Get a cool thing. I don't know. It's a cool piece of hardware for people to talk about. That sounds fine to me. I don't got any problem with that. Get one, don't get one, enjoy it, hate it, whatever. But, hearing them read topics in the Atari Reddit was pretty good. Oh, yes, Lord Crafton, yes. There's a Giant Bomb was reading out some of the topics in the Atari subreddit of people just being like, what? this. I don't know. And then people being excited, people talking about like somebody like got Windows 11 to run on it. Other people were like Tom's Hardware got Windows 10 to work on it, but hated the experience and thought it like had to run through all these hoops to get it going. But that might have been because of the SIM or the USB they were using. It's all this stuff, but it is like. And then Jeff was streaming on it today and was having issues with the audio being like doubled and warped because he was running it through an Elgato, but also putting it out to a TV and a computer. And that thing did not want that to happen at all. So that was interesting. It was like outputting it like super widescreen, which doesn't seem like that it should be able to do that, and apparently, doesn't really do that. Uh, Also, if you listen to the podcast, the Giant Bomb podcast, and you haven't watched the live stream, the Untake Content Creator Console, yes. So if you haven't watched the live stream Jeff did today, Gun Tank, the game he thought was an exclusive, there's a $3 version you can buy on Apple on the App Store, on the Apple App Store. So that's non-exclusive, which makes sense that it's not, but also is a bummer that it's not. All right, we got one leg done. There's a leg. We did a leg. Also, that game did not look great. And I hope that Jeff didn't pay $20 for it and only paid 14, which he can't remember or he didn't look up. But yeah, that thing seemed terrible. It looks kind of nice, but if you just want a cool case to put other things in, that you can get a cool case that's way cheaper. In some instances, better. All right, so we have to do what we did for this leg, but just the other side. Basically, almost identical that we just did, just with the other leg. I'm trying to think if there's other stuff going on with me. A project that I was very vague about, but I was talking about here is a no-go. So now I can get excited about other projects that may actually happen. It is a shame because this project I was happy about doing. But I kind of talked about, again, very vague about it, where I was in the people that were excited this was happening, and there were probably too many people who were like, "Oh, if this happens, that's cool," but that it wasn't going to be their second or third priority, which is a rough place to be in creatively if you can't be excited about a thing, which was what we were having. We were having too many people who were just not excited at all about the project, and we needed them to be at least partially excited about it. So it's not going to happen, and I'm bummed about that. But like I said, I'm going to find other things to be excited about, and we'll see what happens with them. And of course, I will keep you posted. But on the plus side, it did look like I was going to have to change my streaming schedule in order to do that project. And I was not looking forward to changing my streaming schedule, and I don't have to, so that's cool. So we'll continue our current streams. I've been playing. Okay. You know what? Instead of talking about what I've been playing, because I can talk about that another day. Before we get going here, I'm going to talk to you very briefly about how in the next segment, after the pause for the cause, when I talk about anime, a show I won't be talking about, the second season, episode 2 of, sorry, had a brain thing there. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. I'm not going to talk about the second episode of Miss Kobayashi of season 2 of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid because I was very unhappy with this episode. I wasn't happy with last week's episode. Not happy with this one. It ended last season. Or the first season of it ended with like some drama. But for the most part, the show has been pretty light. And this second season has been just not what I want about the show. It's been way more violent. There's been more violence in the first 2 episodes than the other 13 put together. Because even when there was violence, it was like fairly comical. And I think it's expanding the world, and that's interesting, but also at the cost of, hey, I'm going to talk about this very briefly, real antiquated understanding of what gender identity is. For a show where all of the dragons create their human presentation, and their human presentation is based on their personalities. That's okay. They get that. That's a thing that's fine. But this show basically equates gender with your sex organs, which is just boring. It's like at best it's boring. Um, but yeah, it's just an episode where it's just like gender swap Kobayashi. What's that gonna do? And it's just like nothing. I mean, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird, and she's gonna be unhappy. But like Kobayashi is Kobayashi. That's like not because the thing that the show doesn't get into. They get into a little bit in the manga. They don't get really into it in the anime. Um, Also, because I don't think the creator has any concept of how to like actually tell this part of the story particularly well. But like Miss Kobayashi is probably demisexual or ace. She's probably asexual or demisexual, because the language she uses when talking to not being able to reciprocate or fully understand the love that Toru has for her. Some people were like, "Oh, she's just like not gay, so she like can't understand why a woman is in love with her." And it's just like, nah, 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 nah. That's not the word she's using. The word she's using when she talks about it, about not being able to accept it, not being able to understand it, uh, being appreciative of it, but not knowing how to respond to it. This is the thing of so it's like changing her gender isn't going to make her suddenly a horn dog. It's just going to make her a different version of herself who is also ace or demi or on the spectrum. And this show isn't capable of like exploring that and really understanding it. Um, but it also can't but it also wants to try to do those things. So I remember a friend of mine was like, "Hey, I don't love some of the stuff that happens in the show, but I really don't like how Miss Kobayashi can't like reciprocate feelings, and it feels like not fair uh uh to Toru." And I was like, "No, I get that it can feel unfair, but what I ended up saying was, uh, well, I don't think that Kobayashi knows how to respond to her feelings. I don't think she can. I don't think she has the capacity to do it. Uh, so it's not going to be a traditional, and when I say traditional, I'm using air quotes, a quote unquote traditional thing where it's like, oh, well, one character really loves another character, and eventually the character that is loved will reciprocate those feelings. I'm like, I don't think you're getting that. I think the most you're going to get is her, uh, you know, acknowledging that those feelings exist and accepting them with the understanding that this isn't going to be reciprocated because it's not a matter of her thinking she deserves it or not. It's her like not knowing what to do with it. But I don't think this show can handle it, and it's very clear. And as I said, also the violence has been kind of frustrating uh, and very unnecessary. So yeah, I'm not thrilled with the show, so I'm not going to be talking about it week to week. I think I'm just going to watch it at my leisure, and I'm not going to be doing my like weekly roundup or my like stream roundup of it because I am really frustrated with it right now. It sucks also because this has been my most anticipated show this season. That and the second half of that time I got reincarnated as slime because I've been reading the manga of that and I know what happens. So I was interested to see, how it was going to translate into the story, what they were going to cut for time, what they were going to condense, what they might expand on in their own way. Like that's a show that I'm excited about. But the other show I was excited about was Dragon Maid, and I am fairly unhappy with it. I'm going to finish this part on here. We're going to take a pause to the cause. I'll talk ways you can support the channel, as always, and then we'll get into the actual anime that I want to talk about and go through that. And if you're like, Pat, is it mostly isekai? The answer is yes. It's mostly isekai. Let's see. The 5 shows I'm going to talk about here. One, two. No, the 4 shows I'm going to talk about. 3 of them are isekai, but they're different styles of isekai, and one is a beautiful series. The original that I was most excited about is quite good. We got some stickers to apply on this kit. We're going to apply those stickers after our polish of the cause. If you're new to the stream, This is an opportunity for me to talk to you about ways you can support the channel. All of this is optional. None of this is stuff you have to do. If you would like to do this stuff, you're welcome to. I'll get to this point right here first, then we'll get into me doing my things. Speaking of anime, I was at Fighter Fest Night 1 last night, and it was an awesome show. I really missed live wrestling, so Flashbook, yeah. That said, going to a 5-hour wrestling show on a weeknight definitely takes a toll because I was dead on my feet all day today. Yeah, I mean, a 5-hour anything is going to be a lot, but also, folks, let's not be hard on ourselves. We're getting back to public things, and we gotta be okay about that, about it not being, we're not being perfect at suddenly like getting back to society and stuff. We gotta give ourselves permission to be okay with like being weird about groups, being weird at events, being on our feet for a bunch of hours, being outside for a bunch of hours. Everyone's got different vibes on that stuff, and it's okay. Um, but yeah, getting back into me promoting myself. The first thing I want to promote is I got a panel tomorrow night as far as PAX Online East or PAX East Online. Um, Pat Bear's Anime Club yelling about the shows we love, featuring Ian Horner, Heather Derry, and myself talking anime. We recommend shows. We do some long, passionate things, speeches. We get into some like quick recommendations. I think it's a very good panel. I hope you watch it live. It'll be hosted here on my Twitch. I will be in the chat for that. I will be in this chat. I will be in the chat for the Discord, the PAX Discord. So I hope people will come and watch that because I think it's a good panel. I recorded it in advance and I liked it, so I think you will too. And then I won't have to promote it anymore. Anyway, if you're currently not patron. We'll talk about that in a second. If you're currently a subscriber here on Twitch, why don't you go ahead and throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Moat in the chat. Let the people know. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel very briefly. It'll take a few minutes, and then we'll get back to model kit building and get into it. But I'm just going to do some self-promotion here for a couple of minutes. But yeah, if you're a subscriber, you can throw those emotes in the chat. Let the people know. Becoming a subscriber is a great way to support what I do here. $5 a month, free if you have your Prime gaming token. You can use that, and that would be rad. You're under no obligation to do that, but you're more than welcome to. I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. You can join that. Patreon is another way to support what I do. $1, $3, $5, and $10 tiers. I post my schedule there. I post videos. I post reminders of things. It's an easy way to support what I do. There are different rewards for different tiers. If you are so inclined to do that, I would appreciate it if you want to jump over to my Patreon. You don't have to, but you can. Let's see. I have a YouTube. Now, of course, subscribing to my YouTube is free. But joining my YouTube costs $2, and you're supporting me there. It's an alternative. You get one video a week, a day early than everybody else on my YouTube as a thank you. And that's a very easy way to sign up because you have a YouTube account, so you can just do that if you wanted to. Direct donations is another way to support what I do. If monthly doesn't work for you, you can do, a one-off. Because everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube AdSense, through Patreon, through Twitch goes to buying model kits. I get paid, from that. I put it in a fund and I buy kits. I've got a kit coming this month that I pre-ordered a while ago, the Calamity Full Mechanics. Excited to build that. I got a backlog of stuff that I'm ready to build. And then every time money comes in, goes into the fund and I buy kits pretty consistently because I got to keep building model kits. I should say. Now, I do have an Amazon wish list. If you would like me to, instead of working on the stuff that I buy and have waiting to build, if you were like, Pat, instead of that, what if you built what I want you to build? Well, you could put your money where your mouth is and buy something off my wish list, and then it'll jump the queue, and I'll build it sooner. I've got inexpensive Lego sets. I've got more expensive high grades. I've got some, cheaper high grades, stuff that drops in prices, very expensive master grades, all kinds of different things. Lots of weird kits here on the list. You buy one of those, it comes to me in the mail. There's equipment at the bottom. I'll shoot a video about the thing you bought, and then I will build it, and it'll jump the queue, as I said. Always appreciate that. You're under no obligation to do that stuff as well. But you know, if you got some like Amazon credit laying around, if you got like money on a card you don't use that often, and you're like, oh, I could swing that. I can get something for Pat to build. I would love that. Alternatively, you could buy me a gift card to USA Gundam Store, and I will use that gift card to buy things. You get the gift card code in your email. You send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter. My DMs are open, and I will buy something from USA Gundam Store, and you can make recommendations. You'd be like, hey, have you built anything from like this series? And I'll look to see what they got, and maybe pick something up, or it'll go towards me picking something up. So that's the thing you can do. Those are all the ways to support me that cost money. The free way to support me is to join my Discord, which again is a free way to do that. It's a nice little community. I post there just about every day. People post stuff they're working on as well. It's fun. Nice little place. Come check that out. All right, I got videos to promote here in a second. I gotta check the messages here. Okay, nothing good. Nothing bad, I should say. Nothing, comma, good, not nothing good. Okay, so I got two video clips to share with you. One is Pat Baer's Anime Club. If you missed the last one I put out, which was just about 2 weeks ago, you can watch that one. It is me talking about the spring anime season and the summer anime season, the wrap up and the preview. Check that out if you haven't. And here is a link to the final Baer With Me. Baer With Me was a video series that I did every Wednesday where I gave my honest, genuine reactions to a video clip or full video. I'm retiring that segment because I didn't want to keep doing it. It was supposed to do it once a week for a whole year, and I'm not. Next week, I'll have a new series starting up, which is the best of Build With Baer, which is just fun clips from streams. And this is the point where I say, if you ever see something you like that I do on stream, just clip it. Use the Twitch tool to clip it. I would appreciate that very much. You would be benefiting me if you clicked, Alt X or hit the clip button if you liked something that happens in the show. I'm going to dig through clips. I'm going to remember stuff that I said during streams and be able to have those. But it's just like fun little reactions. I'm also going to hard bake in subtitles on those because that's a nice little thing I can do. And yeah, that'll be a new series. But this one, the last Baer With Me, is me playing with a premise that was given to me and is the most meta thing I have made in a very long time. I react to the announcement that I am retiring Baer With Me, which I think is a fun, weird little premise. So watch that because I think that's a fun idea and I think you might like it. Anyway, we're going to talk about anime in a second. I got to drink water. My throat is like very dry. So it's time to drink some water and then it's time to continue to build a model kit and talk about anime. Oh, that's nice. Ooh. Oh no. Autofocus. Come on, do it. You did it. All right. Let's get back to Barbatosing. We got to apply stickers, and I got to talk to you all about anime. Okay. We are in that season 2 of That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime. The second half of season 2, the first half of season 2 aired a while ago. This is the second half of it because I broke it up, which is great because we're not necessarily, I don't think this second season they're going to get caught up to the manga, but they're going to get very close. They're going to have to take a long break because the manga is monthly now. So they are very close to catching up to it. So I think they gotta slow down a little bit. Okay, so weird thing we discovered. We know that the Western Holy Church, the church that Hinata works for, they don't like monsters. They consider monsters an affront to God. So get rid of monsters. Forget them. But why is it that at their holy church, at their like most important place, why is there a fucking vampire there, y'all? What's that vampire doing there? Why is there a vampire? There is. We don't know why yet. It's weird. We have complete confirmation. We knew this, but we have confirmation that Yuki, the Grandmaster of the Guilds, who is also an Otherworlder, we know he's behind the plot that involves Clayman. So we know he's part of this, and also the former demon lord Kazarim, who was killed by another demon lord, um, is trying to be resurrected and is using Yuki for help in that. We don't know why Yuki's doing that, because Yuki is at least presenting like Yuki is this like someone that's helping otherworlders, and like met our slime friend, but is clearly working towards like hurting him, which we know isn't going to work out, but they think is probably going to work out. So we got a lot of plot. There's a lot of plot in this episode. Meanwhile, Rimuru meets with the King of the Dwarves, an Archduke elf from Thalion, which I don't know if it's all elves, but the people in charge of it are elves. So he's meeting with some high-ranking people, and then also Fuse, who is the guildmaster of the human kingdom of Bloomond. And it's very fun because that's a very small kingdom. Like they kind of lucked out into making friends, and they're a small country. Yeah, they're just happy. They're honestly just happy to be here. He's very like Fuse is definitely in over his head. Oh, also, Yom, who is soon to be the new head of Falmouth. Falmouth was the people that ran afoul of them and killed some people of Tempest that were resurrected, and they partnered with the Holy Church, to the Western Holy Church, to do this whole thing, and it's bad news. And they're like, yeah, so Yom is going to become a new, not puppet leader, but a placed in leader, if they have a say in it. Let's see. Also our good buddy the dragon Veldora Tempest shows up, and he's in a nice dress shirt. Of course, no tie, just a dress shirt. And everyone is shocked that Veldora has been released and has a humanoid form. So there's a small meeting, basically, and they're like, okay, well, Thalion wants. They're like, we would like to have a treaty of non-aggression with you, sure. Because we don't really care for the church, and you are a demon lord, and you also have this chaos dragon hanging out with you. So that sounds good. And also Dworgen is like, hey, we want to continue your support. That sounds great. So then the big meeting resumes. Rimuru, he tells them like basically like, hey, this is the story of what's going on. This is all the information we have. He doesn't tell anyone that he suspects Yuki as the person that gave Hinata the tip about him, and kind of clouded her judgment a little bit. The meeting is further interrupted at the end by the Queen of Spirits, the Demon Lord Ramirez. Ramirez, you may remember, is the elf. She was a former Queen of the Spirits and now a Demon Lord who... She is friends. She helped out a lot in the putting spirits into the bodies of the otherworld kids so that they don't die, which is nice. And she shows up, and she's got bad news, and we're gonna hear about it next week. I know what it is because I have read the manga, but there is more to come with this story. Things are getting intense and good, but yeah, lots of plot. Very little action in this one. There's a little thing about like, it's very funny because they're all like, well, we'll just go and kill that person that like messed with you. And he's like, you can't do that. I don't know. I like that. He was just like, no, don't, nobody go and try to avenge me. It's fine. But yeah, good plot stuff. Cool story. Time to talk about the wholesome isekai this season. If you like By the Grace of the Gods, or perhaps you liked I've been killing slimes for 300 years and finally maxed out my level, then you might like Drugstore in Another World, The Slow Life of a Cheat Pharmacist, because it is fucking cute. It is just cute. It's short little scenes, like little chapters of stuff, like little tiny things. It's very lightweight. Nothing serious happens. It's so lightweight that they didn't explain what happened, We start last episode with him just running a pharmacy and like trying to help people. He was isekai. We don't know how. We don't know why. We don't know how he found out what his magic powers were, which is making medicines that taste and are more effective. They taste better and are more effective than other people. So he has that ability. We don't know how he figured that out. We do know that he met Noella, who is this wolf girl, a werewolf girl. He met her, and she seems young, but she has decided that she's gonna, because he saved her, she's gonna like help him out. We don't know how he met what is her name? Shit. The ghost. There's a ghost. Um and I forget her name. I think her name is Nina. There's a ghost that works, and we don't know how they met. Uh what they did, and she lives and quote unquote haunts the place where they work and helps out. She's a real go-getter, which is fun. But yeah, it's a real cute little isekai. So kids really like petting Noella, which she doesn't enjoy, so they try to make a fake like thing that they can pet, but the kids prefer the real thing, which is tough on the girl. Little wolf girl, little stuff. Um, Reggie picks up some box lunches from Rena, who's got her. She works at a cafe. She's got her hair done up in Chinese style buns, which is cute. Um, and he's got a new washing detergent prototype that he's very excited about because they don't have that here. So um, he's like, "Hey, try this out. Let me know how it works out." Also at Arena's is Annabella, who is she's tsundere, and generally I don't like that, but because she's not a main character and she's just a supporting character, I think that's fine. But she's a little tsundere. She is the boss of the Red Cat Brigade. We only see two other members of that, so we assume there are more. We only see two. They are apparently mercenaries hired by the town to protect it. And they have a problem that she really likes the energy drinks that he makes, the potions. So he's like, "Hey, I'll make you more, and I'll deliver them, no problem." Well, that doesn't work for her, so she ends up coming to see them, and she's like, "Well, I was on my way. I guess I'll come here every day and get them," which is just cute. And like I said, it is tsundere, but like it's cute tsundere, so I'll allow it. I don't generally love that kind of thing, but sure. Um, Later they find out, oh, they're running low on herbs because they've been using them, and so they got to figure out a way to plant them. And he gets the brilliant idea. There's this dude from the previous episode that has land, so they're gonna plant them. But animals are attacking. The animals come in and eat the plants. So what's he gonna do? Well, he creates Monster Begone, which is just like a thing that the monsters don't like. So he makes beast repellent, which is like very popular. Farmers love it. And then later, Annabella's like, "Hey, there's some bandits and people are getting injured. We don't know what to do." So they make a potion that hurts people's eyes. It's like cayenne pepper and a bunch of other stuff. So they create that, which works really well. Um, and the bandits take off, and it's just like cute and nice. And guess what, folks? The next episode, we're going to meet a demon lord. That's right. Even this show has a demon lord. And is she a cute young lady? Of course she is. Does she like the energy drinks he makes? Yes, she does. So we'll see what's up with her. And also, there's some sort of princess. And I don't know how that's going to work out. But that's preview for next episode. This show is just going to have like a lot of like cute, fun young ladies and like a nice dude, Reggie, and it's just pretty lightweight and fun. So if you're looking for a low impact isekai, where it's mostly just a slice of life that happens to be uh, about a pharmacist, a guy who calls himself he calls himself a pharmacist, and they call him an apothecary. Apothecary. I don't think I've said that word out loud in a long time. They call him an apothecary. Uh, but yeah, it's mostly just like cute and harmless. I like it. I think you'll enjoy it if you like those kind of, if you, like I said, if you liked By the Grace of the Gods, or if you liked I've been killing slimes and you're just looking for something kind of cute, this is a pretty cute show. Everybody's cute and fun. Uh And the first episode, I was a little worried because I was like, oh, this is going to be like weird about mental illness. It wasn't. It was fine. So, decent show. I like it. It's not going to win any awards. It's not going to win anything. People might not even know it came out, but I think it's cute. All right, so Tsukimichi, Moonlight Fantasy, which might be the breakout isekai this season. This might be the one. This is the one I'm hearing people talk about that were pleasantly surprised by it. Now, I will say this: it does feature a character uh, trait that I do not enjoy, and so I am hoping that it becomes uh, real toned down. Anyway, so here's the synopsis because this is episode 2, so we haven't gotten fully into the story, but let me give you the synopsis so far. Makoto, he was isekai. His parents were from a parallel world, so he's got these latent powers. He's lived on Earth. He didn't know that he was from another world. He gets isekai back to that world, but the goddess of that world is like, ew, you're ugly looking. No, thank you. And so he gets he gets banished to the wastelands where there are no human settlements. Um, and he has some abilities that he got one ability from her, and he has other abilities that he gained because he's originally, his parents are from this world. So he has magic abilities that he couldn't use in Japan on Earth, but he can use here. So he's got some powers and he's doing some cool shit. Um, he defeated at the end of the last episode. He defeated a dragon named Shen, and Shen was like, "I like the memories in your head. You seem powerful. You are stronger than me, and I like what I'm seeing in your brain because I can see memories. So, hey, I'm gonna uh, I'm gonna like become. You're gonna become my master, and I'm gonna serve you, and we'll see what's up." And it's like, okay. Of course, she takes the form of a samurai lady because the memories that she really likes are historical dramas that he remembers watching. She really liked the historical dramas in his head. And so she's like, those are the things that I'm going to be interested in learning more about. Um, uh, so that's why she's got like a samurai lady vibe going. Also, here's a huge thing that is like very like cheat and overpowered. She has a place that she can enter called the demi-plane, which is outside of the regular world. And it used to be this spiraling nothingness, but because of Shen's influence, Makoto's influence, it's now rolling hills and vegetation and animals from his memories, and it's like very peaceful. And she's like, "Yeah, this is cool. We can just go here. We could like build stuff here, build a kingdom to your honor or whatever." And then so they're like, when they go to the orc village, Shen is like, "Hey, uh, my master, took care of all the monsters that were harassing you. You should come. Let's give you sanctuary in my world. You can come here, and then you can support my master." And they're like, "Yes, we like this idea very much. We're going to do that." Um, Very easy. Uh, Also, I think the best part of this is that she creates a tiny version of herself to protect them inside this space. So Mini Shen looks like a warrior monk type. Very cute. Very, very cute. I don't think we're going to see much of Little Shen, but she's got, yeah, that warrior monk thing going that I think is just like, it's a cool choice. Right. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I build this correctly. I don't think I built this correctly. I think it's going to go like this. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Sorry, I'm just building the waist here and trying to make sure I don't fuck it up. B14. All right. Okay, so they do that. Um all right, we learned a little bit more about Makoto. So he has magic abilities, right? But some of his latent abilities that he got um are not magic. He's calling them Kai, but he can tap into them, and it's like, I think it's more like light force than it is magic. Like he doesn't need magic to do it. Um, but one thing he can't do is he can't magic or Kai. he can't heal himself. If he cuts himself, he can't. He doesn't have any healing abilities. Which, even though he's super overpowered, that's kind of neat that he has like that limitation, which is a big limitation. So I think that's cool. Um, let's see. There's a giant spider somewhere out there named the Black Disaster. She's chasing an elf. The elf tries to take sanctuary in the demiplane. Uh, and Shen is like, "Oh yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, that's a rough monster, but like you could take him or take her." She is cursed to always hunger, so she is like gone mad because of that. Anyway, they fight, and let's see. The spider can regenerate, and then okay, so then Makoto is hurt because the spider ends up like sucking his blood and like draining his blood. But that pisses Makoto off, so he unleashes some new ability, which is enough to like satiate her hunger because she absorbs the magic, and also she like isn't mad anymore. But the problem is our new character, who I don't know the name of, the Spider Girl, our new spider friend, is if you've ever seen the anime Konosuba, she is similar to the character Darkness in that she likes that she got beat up. She likes that part of it. Now I'm really hoping that that part of her personality is toned down a lot because I really do not care for that at all. Um, and so as Makoto is passed out, Shen and the spider kind of talk, and she's like, "Hey, you remember me? I'm the dragon. I got this human form because I'm serving my master. You should do that too. That would be great." Um, so then the spider does create a similar contract to Shen, and she got a human form, which makes her look kind of like a ninja, which is fun. Um, and that's the end of the episode. So now there is a new character on the block, and as I said, I really hope that they tone down the whole like uh, enjoying the violence done to her kind of part of that personality, uh, because that will not be fun. I do not enjoy that. It is a part of many shows that I do not enjoy because it's just a character trait that I'm like, okay, yeah, we get that. There's nothing else to it, so we'll see. I do like that Shen is like even though she is serving her quote unquote master, she's still like fiercely independent about how she serves him. Like it's her idea to like we're gonna build a sanctuary for these orcs because you need subjects, and oh well, I let the spider in here because I knew you could take her, and then I thought that she'd be like a good person to join. Like it's very I like that. So like I like that her trait is that she's still adventurous and not subservient. That's cool. I appreciate that, especially in an isekai. I like this isekai. I think that like he's overpowered, but he's not like super overpowered in every single way. And I like the idea that um, he is like building like this kind. He's attempting to fix some problems in that world, despite being. Oh, his big goal is he wants to walk the same path that his parents did, who were from this world and traveled here at one point. Uh, and were adventurers. So he's like, I want to go like kind of follow in their footsteps, which I think is a neat idea. All right, we have one more part here to build on this as we move on. Harold's throwing some notes in the chat. Appreciate that. Welcome, Harold. I'm talking some anime. Let's talk about the last show I want to talk about tonight, the Aquatope on White Sand. This is my highest recommendation for this season. We're only 2 episodes in. If there is a show I think you should watch, it is this one. It is the closest thing this season we've gotten to girls into a thing, being cute and into the thing. Your laid back camps, your super cubs, your after school dice club. This is not that, but it's the closest thing we get because we actually don't have that show this season. Um, so this show, if I can sum it up easy, is Fuka was kind of she didn't quit per se. She was let go, but they'll say she quit. It was very clear that she was putting other people in front of herself in her as she was attempting to fulfill her dream of becoming an idol. And because she wasn't cutthroat, people were like, "Oh well, if you're not going to be cutthroat and bury the other girls, it means you don't want it." Which is just like, no, that's just not her personality. She works hard, but she's often works hard at the expense of her own self. Uh, so she stops being an idol, but instead of just going home directly, which she should do, she on kind of like a whim goes to Okinawa, just kind of on a whim, and she meets Kukuru, who is a high school senior, um, and it's summer break, and her grandfather owns and is the director of an aquarium. And so she's the acting director in the summer because her grandfather is kind of looking to maybe sell it or retire, finally retire. But she loves it. It's her dream to run it, and she's giving her best effort because it looks like it may close to have the summer they need to make the money to do the repairs to continue on this. She has a dream. Um, so anyway, the end of the first episode, Fuku is like, uh, hey, or Fuka is like, hey, let me stay here, like find me a place to live and let me work here. And it's definitely like, what? Okay. Now, in some shows, this would be the start of like finding out that she's great at a lot of stuff. This show does not do that. She has a really bad first day, and she'd be fired otherwise because she put like penguins at risk because she freaked out in feeding them and like abandoned her post. And it's like comical. In another show, it would be comical. In this one, Kukuru is stressed. She's under a lot of pressure, and she doesn't need this girl like putting animals at risk, just like messing around. Um, uh, and I appreciate that. I like that. I like that it's going for like this thing of like these are young ladies who are under their own stresses and dealing with a fucking lot. They got a lot on their plates, and this show is not um, is able to shine a spotlight on that and be okay with talking about that. And I think that's rad. I think that's really interesting that this show is like totally all right with discussing those things. We meet some of the other characters in this. We met Karen in the first episode. She's an office worker who is part of her job is trying to increase tourism to the area. There's a guy that works, the coworker Kuya, who has quote unquote trouble working with girls. I think he just has trouble expressing himself. Um, let's see. We meet. Let's see what we got going here. Oh, Kai, who is a dude that clearly has a crush on, has always had a crush on Fuka and wants to help out around the place. He's going to help move things around. There's the friend that they call her Udon because her name is actually a name of a noodle, so they just call her Udon. And she works at a restaurant that they hang out in, and her mom is the fortune teller that gave Fuka the fortune in the first episode because it's a small little town where shit like that is going to happen, I guess. Um, so let's see. Oh yeah. So eventually, finally, uh, Fuka tells Kukuru what is going on. That she's like a runaway and a former idol and all that. But she's like, I gave up on my dream, but let me help support your dream. It's just like nice. It's just a cool little thing. There was one scene that I thought was great. Like these two really sketchy dudes show up that like I don't know what they're like. Oh, we've got some money to help you out if you help us out, and we don't hear what their offer is, but it's rejected. And then they end up damaging a thing that meant something to Kukuru. So Fuka like gets real mad and sprays them with a hose so they'll leave and tells them off, which was just like a cool moment. I don't know. It was a neat little moment of her just being like, "Nah, you can get the fuck out of here." Um, it's a really cute show. It's beautifully done. PA Works is on the top of their game, pretty much as usual. They know what they're doing. They're just nailing it, top to bottom. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous looking. Um, the Aquatope on White Sand is just a killer show. It's a little slow. Is there a weird creature that's like in the background that is maybe a god or something? Like some sort of water spirit? Is there a water spirit involved? Yeah, I think there's a water spirit involved. I don't know what's up with that, but there's something weird going on there. I don't think we'll ever know exactly what's going on with that, but it's neat. But yeah, it's a cool show. I like it a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it and seeing what comes of it. But I think it's a good drama this season. I don't think it's not light. It's not a light little story. There's going to be some heartbreak, certainly. Um, but yeah, that's the anime I want to talk about here. I don't know what else we got going on. This is a good part of the stream where I ask you folks, what you watching? What are you checking out? What's going on? Um, I've been watching. I stopped watching him for a bit, Colin Furs, because he was doing stuff with uh he was doing this like piece with a TV show that I don't like. He was doing some Top Gear collaborations, and I was like, I don't give a shit about that. I am not interested in watching that. So I kind of stopped watching for a bit. But recently he's been working on a secret tunnel, and that's just cool and weird. So I've been watching Colin Furs, build a weird tunnel from his. He's eventually going to connect his bunker to his shed to his house via tunnel, and so that I don't know we get four parts of that. So I've been watching that. But yeah, what are all y'all consuming? What are you checking out? Um, I've been playing Power Wash Simulator more. There was an update to the. Is it still in early access? They put an update out, a quality of life update that also had some new stuff. I have finished the RV. I am working on the treehouse right now. I mostly on the treehouse have to do the underside of it, which is the thing I'm looking forward to the least probably. But I don't know. I just do it like a little bit at a time as I go through, and it's been pretty fun to do that. I don't take it too seriously. I just spray a little bit as I go, uh, and I've been enjoying it. Uh, Aside from wrestling and bad DBZ episodes, not much. Yeah, last person watching a lot of bad DBZ fan subs on archive.org. And Harold has been playing a lot of Oblets lately. Heck yeah. I hope you're having a good time with that, Harold. Um, enjoy all of that. I think we're going to finish the Barbatos tonight. We got very little left. We got this and the weapon to build. So yeah, I think we're gonna get close to Barbatosin. And gotta put this on like this. Yeah. I don't know. How does this work? Sorry. This goes. Oh, this. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Pop says, "Hey Pat, sweet Barbatos, indeed. I had beef Wellington. Ooh, nice, nice. Yeah, we're working on this Barbatos. I guess this high grade. I think it was because I was so focused on doing the full mechanics, the non grades. This is not. This is the high grade Barbatos from 2000 whatever. I just never got around to building. This is 2015 high grade. I just never got around to it. I don't know why. I think, like I said, I think it was because I was building all the 1/100 non grades and full mechanics that I just never did this one, which is a bit of a shame because I have been enjoying it quite a bit. This is a fun little build. Also, we can take this shielding off and put on and make it so this is symmetrical. Like I can build a different version of the arm. We're not going to do that, but we could do that. But we are going to mix and match because we are going to put on the shoulder parts. Uh, Dustin says, "Hey Dustin, it's a good kit, better than a lot, certainly." Dustin says, "Marathon through both seasons of I Think You Should Leave since I never watched it when it came out. Now I understand more memes." Yeah, that show has a lot. Like I kind of can't imagine. Like first of all, the we're trying to figure out what happened here, the hot dog thing. Short marathon though, certainly. Um, like I can definitely imagine like seeing that and being like, I don't know what's going on there. The fucking like understanding why people are talking about like this is like, oh, it is a show. It's not a show. Just like the coffins. Like I'm not gonna get into it. No spoilers here for anything, but like I can't imagine trying to comprehend what the fuck people are talking about when they talk about stuff from this season, because it just must just feel like complete nonsense. Lord Crashin is packing to get ready for a movie this weekend, which is very fun. Oh, I'm sorry, a move. I was like packing for a movie. Okay, Lord Crashington, good luck on the move. Sorry that I thought you were packing for a movie, which did not make sense to me. I was like, what are you packing? Packing like food? What's going on? But good luck with your move, Lord Crashington. Also, sorry, sorry, because it is never. Sometimes it's like this is the best choice to make right now, and this is best for everyone. But even saying that, it's moving is still rough. So good luck to you. I hope you have a incredibly smooth, incredibly easy. Uh, why didn't I do this sooner? Kind of move. All right, let's panel line this before we put the little holders for our weapons on here. We're gonna do that next. So let's just do some panel lining. We were very close to finishing this kit, which I thought I would finish this up on Saturday, but no, it looks like we're gonna wrap this up. We'll stay a little bit because all we have to do is a weapon now. So because I don't think I'm actually, you know what? I don't think I'm going to build the shoulders. This comes with shoulders, optional shoulders that you could put on here. I don't think we're going to do it. I think we're just going to put the weapon on here and we're going to be satisfied with that. And we're going to go for this look with the shield and the weapons and the no shoulders pads. But you can do it if you want. Maybe I'll do that on my own, but I don't know. I'm thinking we're just going to do it like this. But yeah, I'm happy everybody's here. Thanks so much for being here. Again, a reminder on Friday, which is tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it here because I will host it here, but I will be on twitch.tv/PAX2. It's pre recorded, but I'm doing part of PAX East Online, my panel, Pat Bear's Anime Club, yelling about the shows we love, which is myself, Ian Horner, and Heather Derry, talking for an hour about anime, talking about shows we're really excited about. Do I talk about a show from last season? Of course I do. Can you guess what it is? I'm sure you can. Does Heather talk about a show from last season? Yes. Did I have to pick another show to recommend in my quick recommendations because she picked one of my two? Yes. I did pick one and it was I was happy to pick it. I'm going to have to talk more about it though because I need to really dive deep into it. So that'll just be a future show I talk about. But yeah, I think it's a good. Oh yeah, our Ian shows complete and utter nonsense. Yes. Do I make a mention of a mangaka, and do I say that they a fact about them that is untrue, and I was thinking of a different mangaka? Yes. I did make a big mistake that I'm sure I'll get called out on, and that's fine. Um, um, but yeah, it's a good panel. I was happy to make it. I'm glad I'm not doing it live, and I don't have to worry about that tomorrow. We just recorded it. I think that's the way to go, especially with the Jackbox panel having some issues today. Uh, I'm just so glad that I'm not stressed about it because I did it. So now I don't have to worry about it, and that is fucking rad. So yeah, we can put on the backs of this. There's another option that we can do if we want to have like a gun on here or something, we can do something. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to put the backpack on, which would hold our weapons, and then we're just going to build a weapon, and then we will call this kit done. Now we could just slap a sword on here. The sword is just one piece, and I think that's fine. It's like just a single blade. They put just a single blade, so we can put that here. Can I put this on without pop? Yes, I can. Great. So there's just a sword. We just want to have a sword on there. Just a big sword. But we got to build our big weapon here. So we're going to build that. It's not as detailed as the spike, the pike at the top of it doesn't move, which you would get in the master grade Barbatos. The master grade Barbatos, which I'm sure is incredibly expensive at this point, because everything is a very good master grade. So I do recommend that. I built that last year, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so this is only two pieces, which is fine. Um, but all right, I think we can open it. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. So yeah, in the master grade, and I believe in at least one of the other kits, one of the non-grades, this will pop out. But let's see. Do we want to build the shoulders? We got time to. You know what? We do have time. We're not going to build the other arm because you could just put the other arm on there. But we are going to build the shoulders because why not? I'll give it photos with and without the shoulders because that's neat. So I'll take a photo of this now. But yeah, I hope everyone has you know, we're gonna keep working on this, finish this up. We are gonna raid at the end of this stream. We always raid at the end of every stream, so we're gonna go find somebody cool to go and give some love to. So we're gonna do the weapons with no shoulders, and then we'll take a close up of it with the shoulders. I wish they added the later seasons, the season 2 changes as add-ons like they do builder parts. Yeah, I mean that is kind of neat. Yeah, the because this show, you know, certainly went through revisions and all that. Instead of having to buy individual, like buy the this and Lupus Rex and the different versions of it, if they were just like, yeah, here's the armor stuff. Here are the changes to the kit, and you can mix and match. But I do like that the shoulders are like, yeah, you don't have to have them. We include them, and if I want to switch out this arm for the other arm, it's not just like take this piece off. It's like no, there's a separate arm. I think that's neat. Um, Dustin says, I built the HG Lupus Rex and really liked the wire gimmick for the tail spike thing. Oh, I remember that. I did build that. Yeah, that is neat. All right, so for these, all we have to do is put some stickers on here and then hit some panel lining on that. So we'll do that because there are still a few stickers left that we can put on there. Let's see. What stickers do we need to put on? 9 and 11. 11 is going to, yeah. All right, so we'll do that. But yeah, this was a fun kit. Speaking of fun kits, our next kit is 19 fucking years old, which is cool. Downside of this 19-year-old kit, the stickers are missing, which I remember that being a thing that would sometimes happen in like the 2000s, the early 2000s. Sometimes that would happen. So I'm bummed that I won't have the eye for this Zaku 2. I won't have the right color for the eye. But yeah, our next kit, did I put it in here? Can I look at it? Yes. It is the Zaku 2 FS from 2000 and 2, I want to say. Yeah, I believe this is a 19-year-old kit. That is our next kit. The colors are great. This color isn't particularly there's a P Bandai expansion for the MG Barbatos that is recreating forms 1 through 6. Yes, last week I saw that. Yeah, I thought that was neat. Anyway, that's our next kit is a Zaku 2 from the year 2002. So I'm excited to work on that. I forget the name of the pilot of that one, but there's a name for this dude. It's like his custom. But we're gonna build that, and I'm excited to work on that because I think that just looks real neat. And I would like a challenge of a. I'm bummed that, like I said, I'm bummed that we won't have the eye sticker for that. I'm sure it's just like an eye sticker and then like a couple little stickers here and there, and then maybe like a sticker on the gun or something. So it won't matter too much. We'll use we'll panel line it, and they'll look good. I always like working on a Zaku. That won the my $10 patrons decide on what I build, and that won handily, 2-1. The Ale Strike, I looked like it was going to win for a second there, but it did not. Do I even have the Ale Strike in? I don't know if I added the Ale Strike to my list, but not that one. That's the Strike Noir. There's the Ale Strike. There's the Ale Strike. I like the Ale Strike a lot. Apparently, this is a real good high grade. I've heard very good things about this high grade because it came out like very shortly after the Perfect Gundam high grade, which apparently was not perfect. People really didn't like that one, and this one came out later, and people really liked this like a year later, and people were psyched about it. So I've heard very good things about that kit, which I will build at some point because I own it, so I'm going to build it. But yeah, that high grade will come later. I just think it just looks neat. Building this is the problem, folks, with them not having like a ton of new stuff all the time is now I'm building things from shows that I like just never got around to building from. So I'm because somebody said that the other day. They're like, "Hey, you're building a lot of seed stuff lately," and I'm like, "That's just because it's stuff that I didn't get around to building before, and now I'm building it. I'm building now, so because I have it. So I've built this year. I'll build like 3 strikes probably because I've already built one, and I've got a high grade and a master grade strike in my backlog. So I'll have built 3 strikes this year, which is very strange. I'm going to build the Calamity. Um, yeah, it's odd that I'm building so much from that show, but I just didn't build it before. I mean, the only way, I mean, I'm gonna probably get some of the other kits that are coming out in the new line, the What If line, basically. Uh, I will probably get more of those. I pre-ordered the Live Lance because the Strike Gundam is still my favorite basic Gundam redesign. Oh, nice, Lashbrook. I'm glad you liked it. I don't mind it. I don't have any particular love for that show over other shows. It's just the way things worked out. Um, but yeah, I mean, I got the Live Lance because it's an inverted test site, so of course I'm gonna get the Live Lance. But um, as far as other things from that line, oh, and also I got the Barbatos because it's a Barbatos Centaur. So like, I don't know why you wouldn't think that I would pre-order that. Why I wouldn't want in my collection that kit. Of course I would want that. I'm psyched to build it. But yeah, we'll get some panel lines on these shoulders, and we'll take a photo of it. Get this cleaned up. So yeah, we are going to raid at the end of the stream because that's what we do here. We're going to give some love to somebody else, so feel free to come along on the ride. Hopefully we'll find someone radical to go and give some stream love to. And then again, as I panel line this, I will once again, this is my last plug of it during a stream, and then you won't hear about it until Monday when I tell you about how the archive is up on my YouTube. The archive Monday. Please watch this panel tomorrow. I'm going to host it here. It's going to be on PAX 2. You can watch it there. I will be in this chat. I will be in the PAX chat. I will be in the Discord for PAX East Online in the Stream 2 tab if you're on that. And I'll be chatting with people there about anime and what we talk about. And it will be pretty neat. And okay. And then we'll just put this here. And there we go. And I'll go just take one last look at this. The Barbatos with its other shoulders. We'll get that. We'll get a photo of that. And that's probably going to be it for the stream. We are going to raid, as I said. So thank you, everybody, for being here in the stream tonight. I'm going to take a photo of this. I did. And then, yeah, we're going to go find somebody cool to go and check out here. Sorry about that. That was wrong. Let's see. Who are we going to go check out? Let's see who is doing stuff. Who's out here streaming? We got Loading Ready One's playing Destiny 2, but they'll probably wrap up in a couple minutes. So, oh, well, thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Oh, of course, right at the end, we did get our gotta go ahead and ban this person right at the end of the stream. Well, yes, thank you for being here and appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. Let's see who we're gonna go hang out with. Xandra is playing Crosscode. Crosscode is neat. Xandra is the best. So we're gonna go raid Xandra. So we're gonna go do that now because she is fantastic. She made all my emotes. So anytime we get a chance to go give Xandra a raid, I enjoy doing that because she's just the best. So let's go and give her a raid. feel free to come along on this raid. I hope you do, because Xander rules and is just a fantastic person. If not, I hope to see you here on Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, watch that panel. That would be great. But right now, let's come along on this raid and let's go hang out with Xandra as she does some cool stuff. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.